Spreading the news like mayonnaise on toast.
Marty, forget about the flux capacitor. What we need is a vaccine.
Oh, well, I think we'll need to pray about that. And ask your father.
Shut up, Marilyn!
The Mark Roman Empire, also a podcast. This week's episode, Fear and Social Distancing in Everywhere.
It's showtime!
Episode 24, dated the 18th of March, 2020. Did we do it a day earlier this week? Gradually catching up. Yes, I'm still recording in the Raymond Chandler Memorial Water Closet sound booth. But if this episode actually sounds better than that, please thank Ali Holiday. Yeah, he's not only our audio consultant when he can't actually do it for me, but he did edit and master this episode with what I gave him to work with. Ali is amazing. Glad to have him back doing what he does best because I'm just crazy busy these days. Now, Ali can telecommute for his primary gig at the moment, but if the pandemic changes that, he may be grateful for your sound engineering services inquiries. You can find him on his Instagram, Ollie Holiday. That's spelled OLLIEHOLLIDAY. Look for the puppy. Is it a pug? And Union Jack.
Right, proper.
So I turn the page here. I know. I think you'll hear me whine in this episode about not having an assistant to turn pages, which sounds insanely Hollywood and pretentious because I am, even during the pandemic. You're welcome. So how was your week? No, really. Remember back in the olden days of last week when the question, how are you, was practically trite? Now we're actually genuinely curious and concerned all of a sudden. We anticipate potentially grim news. And if we don't get it, we breathe easier and our heart rate mellows slightly. Also, have you noticed? Less pollution in the air and water. Have you seen the photos of the canals in Venice, Italy? Have you seen the latest pollution maps over China? It took a pandemic for us to suddenly take better care of Mother Earth and each other? Wow. Just wow. It's fear and social distancing in everywhere. Well, on planet Earth. It's not like we can suddenly go off world like Jean-Luc Picard. Maybe going to the moon and Mars and beyond ain't such a nutty idea after all. Amid all the bad news, we have, though, seen some wonderful acts of human kindness. Heroes emerging, seemingly out of nowhere, seizing the moment and offering what they can do. You know, legendary film critic Roger Ebert used to say that film allows humans to better experience empathy. As we find ourselves in the middle of disaster, that's not exactly a film script, but real life. It's as if all the news and social media images, articles, and videos have helped us experience more empathy for our fellow humans. It had to come to this for all of us to suddenly get on the same page about such previously controversial topics as basic income, paid leave, and universal health care? Wow. No guest on the pod this week. Probably not surprising given how the level of strongly recommended to government-ordered social distancing and shelter-at-home orders have escalated so quickly in the last few days. There's someone I did want to interview for the episode this week, but I couldn't do the Skype interview quick enough. I anticipate future episodes with guests will involve Skype or, similar interview technology. that has adequate social distancing. Pandemic rules. Now, I am a writer and I contribute articles over at Medium. I published 2 recently that I wanted you to hear, so why don't I read those for you during the interview portion of the episode? Cool? Now, let's give you an update on Venka, because before the whole pandemic thing, we did start the Hero Tier campaign back in December. You guys can go to herotier.org to check out more info and or you can listen to some previous episodes to get the 411 on that. But bottom line, she's been homeless for a year. She suffered a stroke. She needs our help. Here's a recent post from her on her GoFundMe. So this is direct from Venka within the last few days. We are in desperate need of help, especially with the coronavirus/COVID-19. There are fewer places to go that are safe for us as both our immune systems are compromised. More mine than Will's, but we both have diabetes that puts us at a higher risk. And, I hate to admit, the homeless community is not pristine. We wash our hands often. This cannot be said for many, homeless or otherwise. I am extremely low on cash and will not make it to my next Social Security check. We have been avoiding the places that serve free food because of possible contamination, which means I have to buy something daily that is warm, as it has not been toasty out here. They're up in Livermore in the East Bay, San Francisco Bay Area. And I want to stay healthy and well. I had an eye aneurysm last Sunday, March 8, 2020, and can't get treatment as it is a non-emergency and not covered at this point. I can't even get in for an appointment. COVID-19. I feel like I have a patch over my eye and there are a million pinpricks for light. And that Vaseline is on my cornea. I can't drive at all as I have no left side peripheral vision, and I just don't feel comfortable at all. In fact, this scares me. My vision has never been this obstructed, even less independent now. I can't even read a book. I get a headache and my right eye hurts since it's being overworked. The computer isn't fun, but better than the phone. We need an influx of cash to get straight again so I can sleep for more than a few hours without waking in a cold sweat panic. Or be behind the wheel when the car has a major breakdown and I or Will careens off the road killing Andy or all 3 of us. I need to get my medical insurance reinstated so I can have the surgeries and can see and know I won't die of cancer yet. Or I have another vascular stroke and have more brain damage or die from the stress I am under. That's why the eye blew Sunday. Too much stress Saturday. I felt it. I gotta, quote, watch it expand and take over my retinal focus. And that alone totally freaked me out. I was a basket case and Will had to deal with it not knowing what he could do. Truthfully, nothing. Please help us, since the government can't. It actually goes on, but I kind of think you get the sense of what's going on there, and especially the latest with Venka. Now, if you got a question about how to hear a tier, like how much, I thought it'd be useful to share a few common numbers to give you kind of a sense and see where you might fit in that range if you want to help and become a hero tier, or if you're a current hero tier, add additionally. The $100 level, it's been done. Whoever has the highest total hero tier purchases becomes our featured hero tier, and they are on the very top of the Who page at herotier.org. Right now, the Poor Ass Podcast by Veronica Porras holds that spot. You can do more than 100. You could do 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. There's no cap. There's no limit. Not going to stop you. $40, that's the lowest for the new Double Down. That's where $20 is a hero tier purchase And then the other 20 buys you some hero tier creative swag, like the autographed Hollywood Wolverine photo. My buddy Logan, he laughed at me, okay, when I suggested the idea. 48 hours later, I had sold 3 of them. Now he's bugging me to talk to his Hollywood impersonator agent to share the good news. What am I, some backcountry itinerant preacher? Oh, good news. Let's share the good news. You know, I am the son of Elmer Gantry's bitch, so maybe fair question. All right, back to the hero tier purchase levels. $25, that was the average hero tier purchase in the early days of hero tier. $11 seems to be the current average. $5, that's the minimum. And again, 50% of every hero tier purchase goes straight to Venka, so she can survive homelessness during the pandemic and one day get housing. The other 50% goes to yours truly, a not quite middle-class working artist attempting to help others even before the pandemic. And now with the pandemic, I cannot earn income as a busker on Hollywood Boulevard or really elsewhere, and I cannot earn income as an actor because all the studios have shut down. And literally, Central Casting's last post was 4 days ago to say, hey, see you guys on the other side. So there's no casting notices for me to respond to. So I'll be okay. Got a few different things going, but just a little side note, if you feel like, you know, directly helping the podcast, you can. We got a new tip jar link. If you go to markromanempire.com, look on the right-hand side, the little drop downs, you'll see tip jar. You can do that. Send me either Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal. But I'm really wanting to let everyone know about Hero Tier. Because the benefit of Hero Tier, everybody gets something out of this. And you as the Hero Tier, you get a gift card credit that's redeemable for my current swag and also future groovy swag coming soon. That's right. Now, there's been a lot of cool new stuff over at herotier.org, a lot of new information, pages, all that sort of thing. If you haven't visited it recently, strongly recommend you do. A lot of key information. I get a lot of questions from people. A lot of those are answered at the various pages at herotier.org. And bear with me, still under construction. I'm just one human here. I'm running this whole thing. So your patience is greatly appreciated, as is your support and involvement. I created a Hero Tier results page. Thought that would be useful. And these are numbers as of yesterday, the 19th, as I'm recording this. And this page is also under construction. Helping house Venka. Since December 2019, 39 humans became Hero Tiers. 2 were referred to Mark, not directly known by me. $445 paid to Venka. Helping creatives hurt by pandemic. Since St. Patrick's Eve 2020, 3 items sold of creative swag via Double Down. $57 paid to Hero Tier creatives. Helping Hero Tiers. Since the 11th of March 2020, 7 Creatives Swag Prizes awarded to winners of cards for Hero Tiers. Quick note on that, guys. I sent an email to the first one. There were 6 drawn this past week on the Cards for Hero Tiers video. So 6 winners, but it's ranked by priority. So the first winner, they got to choose what swag they want. So check your email. I'm talking to you, Brett Davidson. All right, check your email. And as soon as you make your choice, that prize is going to be pulled out of the options. And then I go to the second person and repeat, wash, rinse, repeat. So that's what we're doing so far. Look, guys, this is getting updated, improved, made better literally each day, sometimes by the hour. So again, bear with me. Your patience and participation are greatly appreciated. Back to the Hero Tier results. Promotion. 187 likes on Facebook page, 68 followers on Instagram, 64 followers on Twitter, 4 articles written on Medium, Meet the Cap of Will and Grace, Finding Shelter is a Laughing Matter, Hero Tier for Venka, artists, and me, What can you do during the pandemic? 2 podcast episodes, Mark Roman Empire, also a podcast. So those are the results. I think those are important to see right now because it lets you know there are results, and there have been results since before the pandemic, and there's results just in the last few days as a result of the pandemic and the retooling of Hero Tier. So I think that's important facts to have in hand before you make a decision about what you want to do to get involved or get help from Hero Tier. And maybe some of you are thinking, hey, those numbers sound kind of low. Well, you know what? Maybe you could help make those numbers a little higher, okay? I mean, it doesn't cost you anything to like, a Facebook page or follow on Instagram or follow on Twitter. I'm just saying, all right? Speaking of which, Hero Tier retooling, we are now helping creatives. And if you need help or you can offer help, I want to know your cup size. Hey, it's not what you think. Go over to the new cup size page at herotier.org and complete the form so I can more quickly get you some help or match you with someone who could use your help, like Venka or my fellow creators. I'm sorry, creatives. Going a million miles an hour here, guys. And we're not re-recording this, okay? I don't have the time. My fellow creatives, who's a creative? Creative would be someone like myself, a Screen Actors Guild working actor. Maybe you're a non-union actor. That's cool too. Maybe you're a stand-up comic like a lot of my fellow comedians. Maybe you're a busker. Maybe you are a impersonator and you do a lot of gigs as an impersonator like Hero Tier. Johnny D, who does probably the best Trump impersonation, and Alec Baldwin met him and might tend to agree. You might even be crew. So you might be folks that don't actually create stuff, but you're supporting the creative process. Maybe you're a second AD, like Cody, who drew the winning cards on Cards for Hero Tiers this week, among the very many other things that she does. Maybe you're a writer. Maybe you are a cinematographer, a camera operator. Maybe you're a director. These are all things that I consider to be, quote, creatives. So if you need help, let me know. Go to that page, the help page, and let us know. Actually, that one's the Helping Creatives page. So just check it out. There's a bunch when you go to herotier.org, on the bottom, there's a list of all the pages. I'm trying to make the navigation easier, highlight the most important ones. We'll update the front page too. We'll update the stuff on the top with that every page has for all the different key pages, the menus, all that. I'm working on it, guys. I'm working on it, all right? Did I mention I wrote some articles on Medium? Yeah, I know we've been doing a lot of Hero Tier stuff here this episode, but it is kind of what I'm all about lately. I blame the pandemic and the fact that Venka is still homeless. I've also lately been about the 90028.com, for which Lieutenant Frank did several PSA short videos on St. Patrick's Day. Instead of a podcast episode teaser video we normally do with the interview guest this week, since, spoiler alert, no guest, Lieutenant Frank was kind enough to recruit local out-of-work bartender Cody Renee Cameron to play the second installment of Cards for Hero Tiers. You've seen Cody in Breaking Bad, The Deuce, Tosh.0, and Easy Rider magazine's Centerfold. You can find her Venmo to tip her and also other bartenders who are not currently tending bar in zip code 90028 at that's THE 90028 on Instagram. It's part of a fun drinking at home game called the hashtag Apocalypse Challenge. That's hashtag APOCATIPS. It's a challenge, and I believe in you. You can do it. You also see a lot of Lieutenant Frank enforcing during the Apocalypse Challenge, and a lot of promo fun and funny, I'd like to think, videos over at the 90028 on Instagram, and also a lot of friends of the 90028. All right, hey, let's hear me read some articles I wrote on Medium, shall we? Take it away, Mark. So, due to social isolating, all the late night talk show hosts are they're doing it from their homes. And since my home is actually a studio that I share with another human, we're going to do this out of my bathroom. Yeah, because that's my sound booth. Winning. I thought what I'd do, because having a guest right now, a little difficult. Actually, I've got someone that I really wanted to have on the podcast this week, and maybe I'll get to interview them through Skype tomorrow, but that doesn't do us any good for this week's podcast. So I thought, and with so much stuff going on, the news fast changing, I talk about in the intro. By the time I do the intro, there's probably going to be more news. So, and since I'm gradually figuring out how to do my podcast by myself, sans sound engineer, love Ollie, but I got to keep it lean and mean right now. Although he is advising, he's our audio technical advisor. Thank you, Ollie. Apparently, when I use the iOS version of GarageBand, I'm limited to 34 minutes. That's not 34, 64. 64 minutes is the maximum of the entire podcast, which I can roll with for right now. I think you guys can too. And I see you guys are listening and liking. So let's roll with that. So what I'm going to do, instead of having a guest that I interview, and instead of me just rambling on, I'm actually a writer. Yeah. I actually write on Medium, which is a wonderful online platform. And there's a few different stories I've written recently that I spent a lot of time to create and to synthesize and get it all down. So I thought, hey, why don't I just share that to you? You know, so it's kind of like an audio book, if you will, of an article or two that I wrote. So if you guys are down with that, let's get into it. Now, this is an article I wrote back on the 16th. So actually, St. Patrick's Day Eve. This is appropriate. It'll make sense when you get into the article. It's called Hero Tier for Venka, Artists, and Me. My cause to help a homeless friend helps more during the pandemic. I previously wrote about my friend Venka. She's been homeless for over a year, living in her car with her partner in homelessness, Will, and Will's Chinese crusted powder puff, Andy the dog. A word I coined about a decade ago became our verbal rallying flag, Hero Tier. Our understood paradigms for causes include nonprofits and crowdfunding platforms. I promoted Venka's GoFundMe on my podcast and gave when I could. A year came and went. Venka remains homeless. My efforts were not enough. I grew up born-again Christian, a lifestyle choice for adults that demands one tithe or give 10% to the church. The church then doles out charity with religious strings attached. Naturally, I couldn't help but notice the patronizing advice, the tone-deaf directives, the religious evangelism clouding Venka's efforts to get help. Venka feels like, you know, that soldier at the end of the film 1917? And yet, she's got people coming at her from all quarters with their big ideas. Venka needs money and a home. Period. That simple focus seems to elude so many claiming to help. Now, there's a graphic here. I'll just tick this off. Venka woke up today, homeless, disabled, vascular lacunar stroke, stroke in 2016, diagnosed in 2018, diabetic and with high blood pressure, retinopathy, don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, TBI, cognitive delays, stability issues, incontinence, loving Star Trek, loving tea, Earl Grey. Back to the text. As the son of Elmer Gantry's bitch, I struggle to justify supporting organizations that may find themselves in the tragically hilarious position of canceling a faith healing service due to a health pandemic. For those with the means, a single Venmo transaction brings Venka and Will inside to a home of their own. Now, I'm no Jeff Bezos. I can't afford to hire accountants and attorneys who scientifically determine how I can legally pay no taxes. I can't afford to drive a luxury SUV to Costco to stock up on pallets of toilet paper. I'm a not quite middle-class working artist. How do I help? But wait, I'm an artist. I have swag. A poem I wrote, as well as a citation and a headshot related to my Lieutenant Frank character. I anticipate future swag, such as t-shirts and perhaps a Lieutenant Frank calendar. Why not offer gift cards for my current and future swag? That way, when someone purchases a $5 gift card, I could send Venka $2.50, enabling her to buy a cup of Earl Grey tea, the beverage of choice of Jean-Luc Picard. Venka and I share a love of Star Trek. That tea is not only a beverage to hydrate and warm her, it's also a passport. Now she's a paying customer with seating and bathroom privileges that are often a challenge for the homeless to obtain. Given Venka's various health conditions, quick and easy access to the facilities is not merely a convenience, it's a necessity. Everybody wins with the hero tier model. Venka gets funds. She knows what to do with them. I never tell her how to spend it. Fans of my art get swag. I get to sell my art. As a working artist, this is a sustainable model for me, especially now as my busking characters, Lieutenant Frank and Hollywood Cap, are on strike against COVID-19. And Central Casting is not permitting photo updates. It's been 6 months since my last, so I'm now practically invisible to casting directors who've been routinely booking me. All right, now there's a graphic for Will. Picture of Will with Andy. The previous graphic had a picture of Venka. Will woke up today, homeless, surviving prostate cancer, diagnosed 2014, stage unknown, with a slipped disc, herniated disc, pinched nerves, right leg not 100%, spinal surgery required, a recovering alcoholic, loving his dog, Andy. Back to the text. Oh, Andy is a Chinese crusted powder puff. Back to the text. Since December, I've found 36 hero tiers. I'm looking for a total of 3,000 at a minimum of $5 each. The average purchase has been $25. And current hero tiers are purchasing more. Since Venka only gets less than $20 a month in food stamps, it's like she's gotten more than 2 months' worth of the $200 CalFresh used to be. Hero tier is patching a few holes in our American safety net. I'd say hero tier is working better than expected. In early February, I worked on a film for a week at 12 to 14-hour days. I look forward to reaching out to more friends about hero tier the following week. But then I got sick. Probably not COVID-19. I had no fever. And since my Medi-Cal was canceled, I make too much? No option to get any treatment. Low energy, coughing, congestion. I chalked it up to a bad cold. I hadn't had one of those in a while. I stopped working and self-isolated before it was a thing. Rested and healed. My energy returned a week ago. Then, coronavirus happened. Fear developed around me. My singer-songwriter friend, Kailani, has a wonderfully refreshing 6-minute response. I should really have her on my podcast. My next thought? No fear. Hero tier. But now, more people need help, and the stakes are higher. My artist friends share their gigs, and jobs are getting canceled. I know from experience with the first 36 Hero Tiers that there are people of just enough means out there who can help. What if I expand Hero Tier to help my fellow creatives? I am. Today, I've introduced Double Down. When someone purchases a Mark Roman Empire gift card for $5, I ask if they wish to double down for another $5, with which they get a swag or gift certificates of my fellow Hero Tier creatives and small business Hero Tiers. Not everyone will double down, and the primary mission is helping Venka. But I'm confident enough new and existing Hero Tiers will. Just today, the first one did. A $20 Hero Tier purchase from a pre-existing Hero Tier doubled down to $40. Venka got $10. I got $10 to keep growing her Hero Tier. Oh, and to buy groceries. My buddy, fellow Buster, and Hero Tier Hollywood Wolverine got $20 for an autographed photo. I'll be shipping to our intrepid first Double Down Hero Tier, who also gets $20 in Mark Roman Empire e-gift card credit. We just lost Hollywood Iron Man, which means we lost a friend, a fellow busker, and a fellow Hollywood Avenger. And Hollywood Wolverine lost a roommate. Hero Tier Double Down just helped a fellow creative. The expanded Hero Tier works. Sorry, guys, I'm flipping through the pages here. It's all me. I don't have an assistant or anything. Back to the text. A Hero Tier Double Down can also be donated to the prize pool for Cards for Hero Tiers. As my tier-long Saturday in Vegas to develop Lieutenant Frank still haunts me, the casino theme apparently continues. Cards for Hero Tiers debuted last week. My podcast guest, Playboy Bunny and stand-up comic Melanie Newman, drew the first winner. Hero Tier number 20, Anonymous. Hero Tiers choose a public name for the Who page, including the option to remain anonymous. Number 20 has since chosen to reveal herself, Helene Bond. After a year hiatus, I've brought the podcast back. Whether I have a guest or not, I'm releasing an episode a week, which means at least one Cards for Hero Tiers winner each week. So there it is. Maybe it's the Eagle Scout in me. Maybe I'm a guy of a certain age, liberated from the religious and sales manager voices from my past. Maybe it's that I survived Hillsdale College, expulsion as a student editor, the FBI's subversives list, being ruled a celebrity by a federal judge, and the Dick and Marilyn show, my childhood. Whatever it is, I feel perfectly poised for this moment. Let's leave no human outside. I'm seeking Hero Tiers. How about you? So I did that just a few days ago, and wow, look how much has changed just in the last few days. Well, then there's today. I wrote this morning, updated a little bit during the day, and I just published it on Medium literally moments before I started recording this. This is a little shorter. This is called, dated today, March 19, the day that I'm recording this. What can you do during pandemic? ? Saw on a local LA news report last night and heard on a news podcast today that hospitals need blood donations. According to the Red Cross, there is a severe blood shortage. Donors urgently needed. Some reading this may be bored at home. Personally, I'm buried with work at home. Not enough hours in my day. Mark Roman Empire Podcast, Hero Tier, and Lieutenant Frank of Vegas 90210 doing PSAs for the 90028, a fun drinking game, benefits local bartenders who can't work due to pandemic. I intend to find the time to donate blood, hopefully before the weekend. If any of my healthy non-weed smoking, LOL, neighbors in the 90028 wish to join me, let me know. Also, I encourage you to talk to any senior citizen and ask them about World War II or the 60s. They may even recall the impact of the Great Depression. Your elder needs the old school phone call, check-in connection. You need the perspective. Breathe. Honestly assess yourself. Ask for help if you need it, and or provide help if you can. Whether you need to get help or you can offer help, I'd like to hear from you. Predators are masturbating with fear right now. If that word image disturbs you, we better not find a luxury SUV adorned with a "I love Jesus" bumper sticker in your third garage in your second home, filled with the toilet paper, vinegar, and butter I cannot buy at Ralph's or Trader Joe's. Why help predators? Focus. And then there's a little graphic here. Hero Tier, leave no human outside. HeroTier.org. Helping house #Venka and Will since December 2019. Helping creatives since St. Patrick's Eve 2020. Back to the text. Please don't diminish what you can do. Nothing is too little. No pressure, but your fellow humans are depending on you, even if all you can do is ask for the help for yourself and your loved ones. We will get through this. I survived a thing or two in my time, possibly why I continue to be a popcorn popper, churning out helpful, creative solutions hourly during this pandemic. Of course, what the hell do I know? My ideas and $5 might possibly get you coffee at Starbucks. If you can find one that's open within a block. I am Mark Roman, an Eagle Scout SAG-AFTRA busker, and I approve of this message. So there you go. The second Medium article. So I hope that was helpful for you guys if you didn't have a chance to read it. I know for myself, I'm listening to a lot of podcasts lately, and I get more information that way because I don't have time to read, unfortunately, as much as I'd like to. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. And there we have it. I think keep it kind of short this week because there's a lot going on, and I got a lot more I got to jump back into. So sorry we didn't get more content to you on this. I hate saying that. I provide content on my podcast. Like, really? Seriously? I think this is why Lieutenant Frank makes fun of me and my Mark Roman Empire. Did you see that YouTube video? Yeah, he was roasting me, apparently. It's weird to have a character that you play roast yourself. Like, I don't know. That's either creatively brilliant or I'm literally moments away from being admitted to an insane asylum. Maybe both? I don't know. Stay safe out there, guys. And no fear, Hero Tier.
How'd you like them articles?
Yeah, I miss interviews too, but hey, I think this works for this week. I hope you guys got some cool information on those articles. Feel free to go check them out on Medium, Mark Roman Empire over there, and maybe consider getting a Medium account because I got a little tiny bit. I think I made 2 cents last week from people reading my Medium articles. I think you need to subscribe to Medium. I paid $5 a month for it, and I think that's the kitty where contributors get paid. But, whatevs. I think you can clap without paying anything, without joining. And you can clap up to 10 times, apparently. So clap, clap, clap on my articles on Medium, guys. It doesn't cost you a dime. And I appreciate it. Hope to have some interviews next week and in the future, getting that stuff all lined up. We're working on it. Hey, any links to the stuff I mentioned on the show, if I got them, you'll find them at markromanempire.com, especially in the posts of the episode when it goes up. The podcast has a tip jar, you guys, now more than ever. So if you'd like more podcasts, remember, I don't make any money these days busking or acting because of the pandemic. And if you'd like me to have more improved equipment, like using an actual Shure PG-48 microphone plugged into a device, your Venmo, your Cash App, or even PayPal is very much appreciated. No amount too little, guys. 3 donations of just $1 each pays my Google Drive monthly storage fee. So it all adds up. MarkRomanEmpire.com. Click tip jar. Hey, thanks to our listeners across the globe, the pandemic globe. I see you, Vilnius in Lithuania, Boulder in Colorado. Hey, how's Mork and Mindy doing during the pandemic? And my kind of town, Chicago, the second city. How's Ferris? Are you a hero tier? We've been helping House Vanka and Will since December 2019. We've been helping creatives since St. Patrick's Eve 2020. We need 3,000 to bring Vanka and Will and their puppy Andy home. Leave no human outside. Also, only Hero Tiers can win cool prizes in the weekly Cards for Hero Tiers game, like an autographed and personalized Hollywood Wolverine photo, which you can also get if you double down Hero Tier. You don't even have to win. You just go straight and get it, you wealthy people, you. It's only $40. Come on. Whether you need help or you can offer help, or maybe you're just curious. Let's kick the tires. Check it out from the safety of your, quarantined home domicile where you haven't gotten a haircut or shaved or plucked anything in weeks. You can just sit in your PJs. And even if you video conference with someone, they're doing the same thing too. So we're kind of like, yeah, it's a pandemic. What are you going to do? What evs? Oh, now I lost my place. My point is we have found 39 Hero Tiers since December. My question, who's next? Whether you need help or you can offer help or just curious, I'm repeating myself here, aren't I? I just realized that. Guys, I'm going a million miles an hour here. Did I mention that? Did I mention I don't have assistants? I don't have someone holding a clipboard with a little friggin' headset on, and I feel like they're wearing glasses, but in a good way. And they're just going, no, you got to do that. You got to do that. There's no teleprompter. Okay. It's I'm very Ron Burgundy here. Okay. I guess what I'm trying to say is, after I repeat myself, we call it anaphora in literature. Yeah, whatever. Visit herotier.org to discover more. Okay. Fair enough. Hey, do you like listening to the podcast? Did you know you can listen to it on Apple Podcasts? Hey, don't forget to rate and review on Apple Podcasts. It helps the podcast grow. Thanks to those who already have. It really does help the podcast sprout and flower and find new life in these troubled times in which we live, especially. Yeah. You can hear the podcast on Mixcloud, Podbean, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and TuneIn. On the YouTube, we have podcast audio as well as interview rap teasers and Cards for Hero Tiers videos. Some cool videos there. Check it out. MarkRomanEmpire.com. Click listen. Hey, to avoid missing out on cool stuff, join my mailing list, the Mark Roman Empire Census. Sometimes we have special deals and perks for podcast citizens. Become a citizen. Go to markromanempire.com, click census. Twitter at the Mark Roman. Instagram at Mark Roman Empire for the podcast. At Vegas 90210 for Lieutenant Frank and the other characters. Email your questions to me at romanpodmail@gmail.com. Which reminds me, I think the password for that is buried on the old hard drive on the old laptop that died back in December. If you sent an email and I haven't responded to it, my apologies. 1,000 pardons. I'll sort that out this week, okay? My pledge to you. Yeah, because I don't have anything to do right now. No, seriously, I want to hear from you guys. So write in. I'll find it. We'll figure it out. I'll get a new password if I need to. It's all going to work. romanpodmail@gmail.com. And maybe I'll answer some of your questions on the podcast. That would be fun. Okay, let's try that. Try it out. We're trying a lot of new things now, aren't we? Look at us. Look at how flexible we are. Look at how we can innovate and do new stuff and do things we never thought we could. Yeah. I don't know about you, but I believe in us. Okay, let's do this. Let's do it together. All right. Until next week, it takes a busker. Remember our fallen buskers, Clownelyn Monroe, Prince St. Paul, Christopher Dennis, and Alexander Desser. No fear. Hero tier. I am the Mark Roman.